Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Xtreme Long Track 4 here for the 2023 VRC 8-Scale Nitro Sports Car World Championship. Our 8 main drivers lined up on the grid, getting set to go. We are off and underway. Salemi going to be leading us out here, your top qualifier. Then Salemi hitting the infield there. Then Gayson going to be in the number 2 spot early on, starting out here as they come down the front stretch for lap number 1. A lot of racing left to go here for these drivers. A 30-minute A main. We'll crown ourselves a world champion at the end of that as Salemi heads down the backstretch here in this one early on. Ben Gayson, that 2 spot. He qualified second. He was sitting second. Oliver Meunier in that number 3 spot, followed up by Bardetta and Raystrick. Your running order here on lap number 1 as they come back around here. Ben Gayson looked good in qualifying. Oh, big crash right there for Ben Gayson on the front stretch. Catches that inside curb, hits pit lane wall. The front end of the car comes up and he tumbles all the way down the racetrack. Big trouble right out the start here for Ben Gayson. So Gayson was running in the number 2 spot. I was getting ready to say how he looked so good in qualifying, and now he's back in the number 9 spot with a lot of time to make up here in this one, but 30 minutes to do so. Well, that changes things up. We got Mirko Salemi going to be out front leading the way now. Oliver Meunier in that number 2 spot. Graham Raystrick in the number 3 spot. Bardetta in the 4. Jordan Marley in the 5 spot. Walter Salemi in the 6th spot. Winfred Antonia in the 7th spot. Ben Gayson now up to 8th, and Matt Reddick rounding out the field here. There's Walter Salemi, make a little mistake there. Walter down the backstretch in the orange and white. Meanwhile, Mirko Salemi, a.k.a. the Hulk, he's out front leading the way here in this one. Oliver Meunier in that number 2 spot. Here we're looking at Matt Reddick. Reddick in the number 9 spot. He qualified 8th. He's trying to chase down Walter Salemi and Winfred Antonia right now. And look at the running on the top of your screen there. Ben Gayson already up in the number 5 spot after that catastrophic wreck on lap number 2. Here we're looking at Oliver Meunier in the number 2 spot. 1.7 seconds back from your race leader, Mirko Salemi. Still a lot of racing left to go. So much action's happened here. It's only 2 minutes into this one. A 30-minute race, so 28 minutes left to go here. Meunier heads down onto the back side of the track there. His fast lap right now at 24.712. Here's Graham Raystrick. No stranger to the VRC World Championship scene. Raystrick back out there here in the 8-Scale Nitro Sports Car Division. Running up front as usual. There's Mirko Salemi out front leading the way. Mirko right now with a 1.9 second lead. He was your top qualifier. He's trying to stretch out his lead early on here in this one. His fast lap at 24.242 on lap number 3. So Mirko is on fire starting this one out. Back through the center section he goes right now. Meunier's still in the 2 spot. Graham Raystrick in that 3 spot. Ben Gayson all the way from 9th back up to 4th. Winfred Antonia in the number 5 spot. Here's our second place driver as he works his way through the infield. His fast lap at 24.712 on lap number 3 as well. Coming back into the infield right now. These 2 drivers, first and second, separated by 2.6 seconds right now. Meunier back and forth through the switchbacks in the infield, up and over the bridge. A little bit of an elevation change, I should say under the bridge. Down the front stretch they go. Mirko Salemi still going to be out front. Meunier still in that number 2 spot. Last time by, his fastest lap of the race right there for Oliver Meunier. 24.570 on lap number 7. 2.8 seconds back from your race leader. The Hulk is out front. He's doing some damage. Trying to make his way further and further on these drivers. Graham Raystrick in the number 3 spot, 1.3 seconds back here from Meunier, and Ben Gayson in the 4 spot. Jordan Marley now up into the number 5 spot. 24.570 there, fast lap. Personal best for Oliver Meunier. As he's working his way back around here. Back into the infield they go. It's Mirko Salemi still out front here. Take a slow motion replay here. Check this out. Wow, tight inside line there for Meunier. Bumping that inside curve just a bit. There is Mirko Salemi. Once again, your race leader up and over the bridge he goes. A bit of an elevation change here on this extreme track. A new track layout here in the VRC-Pro World. And a very fun track indeed. The drivers making it look much easier than it actually is as they are clicking off some absolutely outstanding lap times at this point. Mirko Salemi with a 24.4 last time by. His fast lap, though, check it out on lap number 6, a 24.086. Mirko Salemi, he is on fire right now. Meunier in the number 2 spot still. Graham Raystrick in the 3. Ben Gayson in the 4. Jordan Marley in the 5. Bardetta, Antonia, Matt Reddick, and Walter Salemi. Be coming up on that 5-minute mark. Here we'll start seeing some pit stops here before too long, which could shake things up a bit here. Especially on a long racetrack like this. A lot of these drivers just wide open through those long... Oh, mistake right there for Mirko Salemi. What a save for him right there, coming out of the back sweeper section. Salemi, and he's coming in for fuel this time by as well. Salemi spins the car. Spins right back around, never misses a beat, and he is in and out of pit lane now. So Salemi going to be dropping back. It looks like he's going to be back in the number 4 or 5 spot here as he comes back down the backside. The other drivers have not made their pit stops yet. With the mistake on that last lap and a pit stop, I believe he had about a 30-second lap time. We'll check the lap times when they come back around again. Oliver Meunier is going to be out front now. This is your race leader, and he is in for fuel now. Meunier in and on the wall. Here comes Gayson in as well. Reddick is in. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Raystrick. There's Marley. And, oh, trouble for Ben Gayson in pit lane. He's got to do a complete 180 to get out of pit lane. So Ben Gayson, he is having some trouble here in this AMA. There's Mirko Salemi once again. Back out front now, out to a 4.6-second lead. Oliver Meunier in the number 2 spot. Graham Raystrick in 3rd. Ben Gayson in 4th. Jordan Marley rounding out your top 5 right now. 6 minutes into this race. Again, a 30-minute race. A lot of racing left to go here for these drivers. Salemi down the backstretch. He goes in the orange and a white through the switchbacks. Up and over the bridge. And back around. Graham Raystrick in that number 3 spot. His fast lap is a 24.6. Going to be his fastest personal best. 25.0 last time by. With the pit stop, he had a 30.050. So a quick pit stop there for Graham Raystrick. May have gained a little bit of time on our second place driver of Oliver Meunier. There is your second place driver as we follow him around now. There's Graham Raystrick. You see the difference between them. It's only 1.2 seconds. And he's got Ben Gayson only 0.9 seconds back from him there. Ben has had some struggles here in this race, and he's showing he's got definitely the speed. He's just got to keep... Oh, little mistake there for Raystrick. Ben Gayson makes the move now. Ben Gayson up into the number 3 spot. Raystrick drops back to the 4 spot. Through the switchbacks into the infield they go. So Ben Gayson, if I was just getting ready to say, he's got the speed. He showed he's got the lap times. His fast lap is a 24.216. That's right up there with Mirko Salemi, your race leader. The problem has been the consistency and the wrecks. If he can get those sorted out, he well could move his way up as this race continues on. There's Mirko Salemi. He gets caught there, gets corner marshaled, has to get dropped back and around. Let's take a slow-mo. Check this out here. A little bit of a up on the curb. Track limits. Hits that inside. He's got to have a corner marshal. That's now going to close that gap up as Oliver Meunier now going to only be 6. That last time by was 6.112. We'll see what they're at this time by. Here comes Salemi. It's going to be really close. This time 1.1 seconds is all that separates them now. Oliver Meunier grabbing a second wind here as he sees Mirko Salemi just ahead of him here. Ben Gayson only 1.3 seconds back from him. So just as we thought that Mirko Salemi was going to run away with this one, everything has changed with one mistake. So Mirko Salemi now 8 minutes into this one. Here he comes back on the front. Oh, another mistake for Mirko Salemi coming onto the front stretch that time by. Mirko catches the inside curve. He spins it out. That's where we saw Ben Gayson make the mistake on lap number 1. Salemi right now, he is feeling the pressure. Oliver Meunier right there behind him in the number 2 spot. Ben Gayson now latched onto him in the 3 spot. Gayson only going to be 9/10 of a second back. We've got a race on our hands here for our top 3 drivers. Here they come back around. There's Ben Gayson. Under the bridge, they go down to the front stretch. This time by, Ben Gayson with a 24.8. Oliver Meunier that time by, only 5/10 of a second back from Mirko Salemi, your race leader. 8:45 into this one. Oh, Ben Gayson hits the back wall. Oh, another mistake there for Ben Gayson. So Ben having some troubles here. Catching that outside wall once again, popping up at a wheelie there. Graham Raystrick trying to close the gap up on him. So Ben just trying to push it as hard as he can at this point. Graham Raystrick says, yeah, keep making those mistakes. I'm going to close the gap up on you here. We got a battle for 3rd and 4th. Meanwhile, Oliver Meunier only 0.8 of a second back right now from Mirko Salemi. So Mirko trying to stretch it out, but Oliver, at this point, he is staying right there with him. Only 0.8 of a second is all that separates them. Last time by the line at 25 flat for Oliver. Whoa, Meunier hopping the inside curve there. Going a little off-road here with the 8-scale Nitro sports car. Meunier that time by with a 25. Here's Ben Gayson. Ben Gayson, his personal best, a 24.060. And just like that, look at the gap he has closed up on Meunier. Here they come down the front stretch. There's Walter Salemi sitting in the number 7 spot. Mirko Salemi, a.k.a. the Hulk, out front leading the way. Walter in 7th. There's Matt Reddick in the number 8 spot. They're going to be followed up by Winfred Antonia in that number 9 spot. 10 minutes into this race now, not too long, we'll start seeing our second set of pit stops. Here comes Antonia in the white, green, and purple. Back through the infield. There's Mirko Salemi right now trying to put a lap on them. Mirko's now back out to the 2.1 second lead. Gayson 6/10 of a second back from Meunier right now. Marley in 4th. Racetrick in 5th. Bardetta 6th. Walter Salemi in 7th. Matt Reddick 8th. And Winfred Antonia in the number 9 spot. Here comes that battle for second and third now. And Mirko Salemi in for fuel. And it looks like Oliver Meunier and Ben Gayson both going to go on by. That's now going to be a battle for the lead as Mirko Salemi drops to third. Gayson and Oliver Meunier still going to make their pit stops. Working their way back on the infield. Ben Gayson now takes over the number 1 spot. We saw him out front early on in this one in the number 2 spot, chasing down Salemi. Had the mistake on lap 1, worked his way all the way back up, had another mistake, had to work his way back up again, and now he finds himself out front. So Ben Gayson leading the way here. He has not made that second pit stop yet, and neither is Oliver Meunier in the number 2 spot. These two drivers only a 10th of a second apart. They're going to be coming up on Matt Reddick in the number 9 spot, trying to put a lap down on him. Oh! Ben Gayson hitting the back wall there, losing a little bit of time. Oliver Meunier goes on by. Here they come. Who's going to make a pit stop? And both drivers in for fuel now. Gayson and Meunier both on the wall, and there goes Mirko Salemi waving goodbye as he heads on by right there. Fast lap. Ben Gayson still at 24.060 in lap number 22. Battle is back on right now. Once again, Meunier and Gayson. Back through the infield, up and over the bridge they go. Oliver Meunier, we'll see what they've got here. Meunier with the pit stop at a 30.4, I do believe. Ben Gayson with a 30.5, so only a 10th of a second slower with the pit stop. Here they come back around here. Look at those lap times there on the bottom left of your screen. Again, that 24.060 by Ben Gayson. Absolutely phenomenal lap times out of this driver. Salemi still out front. Meunier in second. Gayson in third. Graham Racetrick in fourth. Jordan Marley in fifth. As you can see now, second and third. Closing up. Oh! Ben Gayson grabbing a handful of throttle right there as he heads into the corner. Back through the infield they go. Gayson closes the gap up quick. They are now going to be wheel-to-wheel down the backstretch. They go coming in the infield. They've got Antonia right ahead of them. Their lap traffic. They make it through clean. They've got a clear track ahead of them down the backstretch. They go now. 12:45 into this one. Gayson works his way up to the number 2 spot. Oliver Meunier dropping back to the number 3 spot. Ben Gayson is trying to set his sights on your race leader, Mirko Salemi. We are 30 laps into this race. At this point right now, they're roughly on a 70-lap run. Taking a time shift here, 19 minutes into this race. Still following Ben Gayson, 5.1 seconds. Oh, mistake for Ben Gayson. He was 5 seconds back from your race leader, but right there, that's going to cost him once again. Ben Gayson with some of the fastest lap times we've seen in this entire race. The mistakes are just catching up with it. Gayson still going to be in the number 2 spot right now. Oliver Meunier, I do believe, will still be in third. Racetrick in fourth. Yeah, that time by. Ben Gayson now going to be 6 seconds back from your race leader, Mirko Salemi. Here they come back onto the right-hand side there. Oliver Meunier looked like he was sliding backwards into that corner. Meunier 1.3 seconds back in the 3 spot. Graham Racetrick in the 4 spot. Jordan Marley in the 5. Walter Salemi in 6th. Andrew Bardetta in 7th. Matt Reddick and Winfred Antonia. Oh, another mistake for Ben Gayson on the front stretch. Gayson catches that inside curve, but that is the exact same mistake we saw in lap number 2. That time, Gayson putting the front of the car up against pit lane wall. Has to get a corner marshal, and that allows Oliver Meunier to close that gap up and now drops them back nearly 10 seconds from Mirko Salemi out front. Less than 10 minutes to go here in this race as they work their way back around right now. This is going to be our closest battle on the racetrack. This is for second and third. Ben Gayson and Oliver Meunier back onto the right-hand side. They go through the big sweeper section onto the backstretch. Last time by, Oliver within 24.9. Ben, last time by, just a tick faster. Gain a little bit of a 10th of a second there. Here they come back on the front side of the track now down the front stretch. Mirko Salemi, meanwhile, out to a 4.2-second lead on Ben Gayson. I do believe that last time by, Mirko Salemi may have made his pit stop. He had a 29.706 lap time. His average right now is in the 24-second lap range, so I'm going to say he made his pit stop. We'll see if Ben Gayson and Oliver Meunier make their pit stop this time around. Here they come. 50 laps in the books for your race leader here. Ben Gayson still in second, 5 seconds back. Oliver Meunier 5/10 of a second back from him. Graham Raystrick in fourth, and Jordan Marley rounding out your top 5. Only 8 minutes left to go, 8.5 minutes left to go here in this one. Oh, a little mistake there from Mirko Salemi. Catches that inside curb just a bit. Don't forget earlier, Mirko got out to a big lead here in this one. Then he caught that inside curb, went out of track limits, had to be corner marshal, went all the way back to before the corner, and that bunched everybody right back together. One mistake is all it takes here. Ben Gayson still in second, now only 4.7 seconds back from Salemi. So Gayson actually gaining some time on your race leader here. 22 minutes into this one, 8 minutes to go. Here they come, second and third under the bridge. Down the front stretch they go. Oliver Meunier in that number 3 spot. Oh, more trouble there for Ben Gayson. Just coming in the camera angle there. Looked like Gayson might have lost the rear end. Coming out of that corner there, nearly spun out, was able to save it, but he did lose some valuable time as Oliver Meunier now all over his back door. Here they come back around to the front side, through the switchbacks, under the bridge, down the front stretch. That time by, 24.9. They're going to be 4.8 seconds back from the race leader. Only 0.6 of a second separate these two. Here's Graham Raystrick in the number 4 spot. Graham in the orange, white, and black. He's going to be 7.8 seconds back right now from Oliver Meunier in third. Chasing down Ben Gayson and Mirko Salemi. Again, Graham Raystrick, no stranger to the VRC World Championship scene. Taking a look at his lap times there, 24.9 the last time by. Back on the front stretch he goes here. Back to the front of the pack we go with only 7 minutes left to go here in this one. Mirko Salemi out front, down the front stretch. One car there stopped on the front stretch. Did not see who that was or what exactly happened. Mirko Salemi making quick work though, put him another lap down as he heads down the back stretch here. 55 laps into this one. Ben Gayson 10 seconds back from your race leader. Oliver Meunier going to be only 0.6 of a second back for that third place spot. Second and third is really the only battle we have right now, and this battle's been raging on this entire race. On the backside they go. Ben Gayson. Oh, Ben up and on the wall. Wall ride right there. Somehow Ben holding on to the number 2 spot. Oliver Meunier still in the 3 spot. Meunier diving to the inside. Not quite close enough to make a move there. Gayson closes the door on him. Oh, Meunier makes the move though. Sets him up to the switchback. Oliver Meunier now up to the number 2 spot. Ben Gayson drops back to third. Time is winding down in this one. 6 minutes left to go for these drivers. Mirko Salemi out front. Meunier in the number 2 spot. Ben Gayson in that number 3 spot. Here's your race leader down the back straight. He goes. Top 3 drivers all on the lead lap right now. That means at this point, although Mirko's out to 11.1 second lead, a mistake or two, and this could all be changed up, and we could be looking at a totally new race leader. Meunier and Gayson up and over the bridge they go, into the back left corner. They've got some lap traffic in there with them as well. That wheel to wheel they go, fender to fender. Gayson trying to make a move. Meunier shutting the door on him down the front stretch now. Back around for yet another lap at 24.7 that time by. 24.8 last time by. Meunier back up in a second now. Ben Gayson in the number 3 spot. It's a drag race down the backstretch. Gayson sets him up. Ben taking over the 2 spot once again. Here comes Oliver now. Back to the inside. Whoa, Reddick right in there with him as well. Reddick going to be several laps down. He's in the 7th place spot. All 3 drivers right there down the front stretch. Meunier and Gayson now clear track ahead of them here for at least a little bit with 5 minutes left to go in this race. Back and forth they go. Ben and Oliver. Back into the infield now. This time by Ben in the number 2 spot. Oliver in the number 3 spot. Through the big left-hand sweeper. Back around once again. 24.8 that time by for Ben Gayson. Oliver Meunier going to be right there behind him now. That time by the line. Gayson with another 24.8. So consistent. 24.8, 24.8, 24.8, 24.8. 4 laps in a row. Ben now putting a little bit of breathing room that lap around on Oliver. Graham Raystrick, an even 10 seconds back in the number 4 spot. There's your race leader, Mirko Salemi. making his pit stop there. Oh, a little slow motion. Check this out. What a save right there for Mirko. Backing it in the corner there. Lose a little bit of rear end traction. Able to get the car back under control. Holds on to that number 1 spot. He's got a 5.9 second lead before Ben, Oliver, and Graham make their pit stops. Here comes that raging battle. Oh, mistake right there for Oliver Meunier. That's going to drop him back a bit there from Ben Gayson. And I believe Gayson comes in for fuel, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe not. No, he did not. Looked like he came into pit lane, but he had not yet made that pit stop. Getting ready to come up on the 26-minute, 30-second mark. 3:30 left to go here for these drivers. Back through that infield once again. Ben Gayson coming back around here down the front stretch. Take a look at his lap times. That time by a 24.5. Still his fast lap, that 24.0 early in this race. Mirko Salemi in the number 1 spot. Right now he's got a 5-second lead on Ben in second, who's 1.1 seconds ahead of Oliver in the number 3 spot. 10 seconds ahead of Graham Raystrick in 4th, which is a lap ahead of Jordan Marley in 5th. Bardetta, Reddick, Walter Salemi, and Winfred Antonia rounding out your field right now here in this one. 3 minutes left to go here for these drivers. Right now, Ben Gayson is trying to stretch it out here just a bit on Meunier. Mirko Salemi, meanwhile, out to a 4.9 second lead here. Ben closing the gap up just a bit on your race leader. As here comes Salemi down the front stretch now, 27:30 into this one. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. Mirko Salemi was your top qualifier after qualifying. Started out front, and he's looking to finish out front. Here comes Meunier working his way back around now. He's got Bardetta right there with him. Bardetta in the 6th place spot. That is not a battle for position. Coming around here for lap number 66. Now at this point, they're on a 72-lap run here for your race leader of Mirko Salemi at the pace they're going right now. Here comes Ben Gayson, still in the number 2 spot. 4.9 seconds back from Mirko Salemi. So Ben really closed the gap up there for a few laps. Now staying pretty steady at this point. Graham Raystrick still in the 4 spot. Great run for him here in this one. He's gained 0.7 of a second since we last checked on him. On Oliver Meunier in the number 3 spot. Jordan Marley in the number 5 spot. Oh, mistake right there for Marley. Catches the inside curb. Spins out. Does not need a corner marshal, luckily. Minute and a half here to go in this one. Back around, up and over the bridge they go onto the left-hand side. It's Salemi out front. Take a look there. Ben Gayson's lap times, 24.6. Last time by for Salemi was a 24.4. Wow, Mirko Salemi still turning on the heat with just over a minute to go here in this one. Ben Gayson 5.2 seconds back from your race leader. 2.9 seconds back from him is Oliver Meunier in the number 3 spot. Is this going to be how we finish up here? 1 minute to go. Mirko Salemi out front. Ben Gayson second. Meunier third. Raystrick fourth. Jordan Marley in the 5. And Oliver Meunier now. And Gayson, both drivers into pit with 45 seconds left to go. A last-minute pit stop here for these two drivers. An interesting pit strategy. We saw Mirko Salemi make the pit stop closer to the 25-minute mark. So he will not need another pit stop to finish this one out. Only 30 seconds to go here. Ben Gayson right now in the number 2 spot. Meunier going to be right there behind him in the 3. That's going to allow Mirko Salemi. He is all but checked out here with 20 seconds left to go on the clock here in this one. Ben Gayson trying to hold on to the number 2 spot is now back into the 12-second range. Back from your race leader. 10 seconds on the clock. Down the backstretch they go. Here is Graham Raystrick in the 4 spot. This one is winding down. Time has expired. Here comes Mirko Salemi working his way onto the back straight one final time. Here comes Ben Gayson down the front stretch. He is done in the number 2 spot. Oliver Meunier in the number 3 spot. Here comes Graham Raystrick in the 4 spot. And coming around your 2023 8-scale Nitro Sports Car World Champion, Mirko the Hulk Salemi. Ben Gayson taking second and Oliver Meunier rounding out your top 3.